Today we will discuss the concept of semaphore. In the last video lecture, we have seen the solution to the critical section problem using Peterson solution and synchronization hardware. Today we will discuss the solution to the critical section problem using semaphore. So let us understand what is semaphore. Semaphore is an integer variable that are used to solve the critical section problem by using two atomic operations, wait and signal. So wait and signal are two atomic operation. The concept of atomic we have already discussed. That means when this particular operation wait or this particular operation signal is being executed by a process, other process cannot interrupt in between. So that is why wait and signal are atomic. They cannot be interrupted in between the execution of the operation wait and signal, and are used for process synchronization. So what is this wait operation? So the wait operation decrements the value of its argument s if it is positive. If s is negative or 0, then no operation is performed. We can understand this by using this particular example. If you see, it takes a integer value, or s here represents the semaphore value, so it may be either 1 or 0. So here if we see, if the value is less than 0, the s value is less than 0, then no operation is performed. It continues in the loop. If the s value is greater than 0, then it will decrement, this operation wait operation will decrement the value of the semaphore and it can enter the critical section. The signal operation increments the value of its argument s. So the semaphore s, the variable s, it will increment the value. So we can understand using this particular code. So signal s, so s will be having a value, the semaphore s is having a value, and that will be incremented by using this operation. So whenever a process enters, it executes the wait operation. When it exits, it executes the signal operation. So this is the process that is being followed. Process enters the critical section, execute wait. Process comes out of the critical section, execute signal. To understand this, let us consider this particular example. So in this example, we'll see there is a process I that wants to enter the critical section. So it will execute wait and it will execute signal. So one more name for semaphore or binary semaphore is mutex. So it can be represented by using this particular term mutex also. So initially the semaphore value is 1 or set to 1. The s value, as we have seen in the previous example, is set to 1. So any process, in this example process I wants to enter, so it will set or it will execute the wait operation, then it will go to the critical section. Once it comes out of the critical section, it will execute the signal operation. So when the process executes the wait operation, you can see the value of the semaphore value is 1, that is the s value is 1. Is 1 less than 0? The answer is no. So the value of s is decremented, so it is decremented from 1 to 0. So semaphore value was 1, 1 is not less than equal to 0, so 1 is decremented. So now the value of s is, or the semaphore value is now 0. Now the process enters the critical section and it executes in the critical section. When the process comes out of the critical section, it executes the signal operation, that is, it increments the semaphore value. Let us understand this with the help of one example. So in this example, if you see, the semaphore value is initialized to 1. Here you can see this one. There are two processes, process 1 and process 2. Now both the process cannot execute the wait operation at the same time. The reason being, the wait operation is atomic and only one process can execute it at a time. That is, it is non-interruptible. So let us assume that process 1 executes the wait operation. So process 1 executes the wait operation and it sees the semaphore value as 1. So when it sees the semaphore value as 1, it checks the condition. It checks the condition that this particular while loop 1 is less than 0, this condition is false, decrements the value of s. You can see here decrement the value of the semaphore. So 1 is changed to 0 and the process 1 enters the critical section. Now process 1 has entered the critical section, so process 2 can now execute the wait operation. So while process 1 is executing in the critical section, process 2 checks the value of s in the statement while s less than equal to 0, and it sees 0 is less than equal to 0 and the condition is true. So process 2, because of this semicolon, process 2 is now busy waiting, that is it is executing in this particular loop only. In the meanwhile, process 1 completes its execution and it comes out of the critical section. When process 1 comes out of the critical section, it increments the value of s using the signal operation. So initially when it entered, it changed the value from 1 to 0. When it comes out, it changed the value from 0 to 1. So the final value after the process 1 comes out of the semaphore critical section is 1. Now the process 2 sees the value of the semaphore as 1 and which is false. So now process 2 can enter the critical section. So in this example, we have seen between the two processes 1 and 2, process 1 and process 2, only one of them can enter the critical section at a time, not both. So this semaphore value guarantees that the value is changed from 1 to 0, so no process can enter when the value becomes 0, and whenever the process comes out, it becomes 1, so a new process can enter using the new semaphore value. So that is about the execution of semaphore with two processes. So it guarantees mutual exclusion. Now let's look at the types of semaphore. So there are two types of semaphore. One is binary semaphore and one is counting semaphore. So what is binary semaphore? A binary semaphore is also known as mutex lock. It can have only two values, that is 0 and 1. As in the previous example, we have seen the two values can be 0 and 1, and it is initialized to 1. It is used to implement the solution of the critical section problem with multiple processes. Now what is counting semaphore? It can have value that is over a range and an unrestricted domain. It is used to control access to resource that has multiple instances. Coming to the advantages of semaphore. So semaphore allows one process into the critical section. They follow the mutual exclusion principle strictly and are much more efficient than some other methods of synchronization. Semaphore can be used to solve various synchronization problems. Semaphore are implemented in machine independent code of the microkernel, so they are machine independent. Now coming to disadvantages. Semaphores are complicated, so the wait and signal operation must be implemented in the correct order to prevent deadlocks. Semaphores are impractical for large scale use, as their use leads to loss of modularity. This happens because the wait and signal operation prevent the creation of a structured layout for the system. Semaphores may lead to priority inversion, which means low priority process may access critical section first and high priority process may be able to access later. One more disadvantage of semaphore is busy waiting. Busy wait means a process that is in a critical section, any other process that tries to enter into the critical section must loop continuously in the entry code. Busy waiting wastes CPU cycles. So what is the solution? So there is a modification to the wait and signal operation. So let us look at the new code for wait and signal operation. So in the wait operation, we see that the semaphore value is decremented, and if the semaphore value is less than 0, it is added to a queue. Here list represents the queue and the block operation is executed. Similarly, in the signal operation, we see that it is incremented, the semaphore value is incremented, and if the value is less than equal to 0, it is removed from the queue and the wake up operation is executed. Now the block operation places a process in the waiting queue and the state of the process is switched to the waiting state. The control is then transferred to the CPU scheduler, which selects another process to execute. A process that is blocked, so the process which has executed this wait operation and which is blocked, should be restarted when some other process executes the signal operation. The process is restarted by the wake up operation, which changes the process from the waiting state to the ready state. The process is then placed in the ready queue. The block operation suspends the process that invokes it, and the wake up operation resumes the execution of the block process. These two operations are provided by the operating system as basic system calls. Now let us look at one problem on semaphore. So in this problem we see that there is a counting semaphore S that is initialized to 7, and if there is 20 P operations, that is 20 wait operation and 15 signal operation that is being performed on this semaphore variable S, what will be the final value? So we see that the solution is P operation, also called wait operation, and V operation, also called signal operation. So P operation will decrement the value of the semaphore and V operation will increment the value of the semaphore. So because the P operation is performed 20 times, that is it will be subtracted or decremented 20 times, and V operation performed 15 times, that is it will be incremented 15 times. So we can say that 7 is the initial value, 20 times P operation and 15 times V operation. So this 1 represent it is decremented by 1 and it is incremented by 1. So final value is 2. So that's all for now.